Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, family, and welcome back. Today's lesson is 191. It's entitled, I Am the Holy Son of God Himself.
Mm-hmm. That's a tough one to swallow.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it is, yes.
Yeah.
When we've confused ourselves with an imposter.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right.
Yeah. That's that we're always answering the question, who am I, every now moment. We just recently in the last workbook lesson talked about how we're always turning within, making the decision of what we are based on our desire. And then from there, we see the world reflected back to us based on that choice of identification. So you're always either fear, mythical me, or love, the Holy Son of God. And he's saying here, I am the Holy Son of God Himself. That's the one that's true, which we know. Okay, so let's dive in.
Mm-hmm.
Here is your declaration of release from bondage of the world. And here as well is all the world released. You do not see what you have done by giving to the world the role of jailer to the Son of God. What could it be but vicious and afraid, fearful of shadows, punitive and wild, lacking all reason, blind, insane, and sad?
And sad?
Uh-huh.
And did you say sad?
I did.
Okay, all right. I've got hate here. So you're, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I like the hate. I like the both sad and hate. Not that I like. Sorry, I'll wind back a bit here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think both of them are so good because, you know, while we're hateful, we're sad because we're so far from what we are, which is love.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Mm-hmm.
and just to clarify here in that which sentence was it? The third sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You do not see what you have done by giving the world the role of jailer. Something I really didn't get for the first 15 or so years of studying the course is this part. You do not see what you have done by giving to the world and the body. That part I didn't get. I separated the world from the body, you know.
Yeah.
And I think most of us do that until we realize that the body is not who we are. It's a projection in our mind, quite literally. Yeah. So, you know, we give the body and the world the role of jailer. In other words, we say that the world and the body are cause and not effect of our mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we think that the world and the body can attack, can threat us, right?
Right.
Can threaten us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if we're radically honest, we go around with this sense of I am some sort of conscious awareness, but I'm peeping out through these eyeballs and I'm confined by this body. And that has to be completely undone, because while that's true, then the world's happening to you. It's recognized, come out. You know, we all have to come to that place. You are mind, and everything that you're seeing is a projection of that mind, including this body.
Yeah, yeah. It's a total reality reversal.
Complete.
You know, it's not
No
partial.
problem.
Right, it's not partial. For the first 20 years of the course, I really did believe it was partial.
Yeah, that you could mix a little of this and a little of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Until I hit the wall again.
Yes.
You know, yeah. No more doing that. No more.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, sis.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
What have you done that this should be your world? What have you done that this is what you see? Deny your own identity, and this is what remains. You look on chaos and proclaim it as yourself. There is no sight that fails to witness this is you. There is no sound that does not speak of frailty within you and without. No breath you draw that does not seem to bring you nearer death. No hope you hold, but will dissolve in tears.
Oh, sounds like a lot of fun.
Whose idea was this? Who can I blame?
It's not mine.
It was yours. You said it was going to be a good idea. We'd have fun, you said.
All right. Okay. Pin it on me.
Oh, boy.
I was wrong.
Here he's driving it home some more. Deny your own identity and you will not escape the madness which induced this weird, unnatural, and ghostly thought, which mocks creation and which laughs at God. Deny your own identity and you assail the universe alone, without a friend, a tiny particle of dust against the legions of your enemies. Wow. Deny your own identity and look on evil, sin, and death, and watch despair snatch from your fingers every scrap of hope, leaving you nothing but the wish to die.
And that wish to die is so entrenched. We've spoken about this before. You know, we have this anticipation, especially as people age and sicken, and we hope that they will die soon, sooner rather than later. And we call that love.
He's gone home to be with the Lord. Yes.
Well, the Lord called him home.
That's right.
And snuffed him out.
That's
the ego's Lord.
Yeah.
The ego's God, right? Thanks, sis.
Yeah, that wish to die, the attraction to death is like, it's a tractor pull. It's the foundation of this entire world. And we don't see it until we're willing to see it, but recognizing that everything in that gap serves its Lord, which is the thought of death, life's opposite. Okay. All right. How y'all feeling? Candy, cookie?
I think we should break into song.
I know. I could do the happy dance. Could do a happy dance, but you don't want to see that either. So here's paragraph 4. Yet what is it except a game you play in which identity can be denied? You are as God created you. All else but this one thing is folly to believe. In this one thought is everything set free. In this one truth are all illusions gone. In this one fact is sinlessness proclaimed to be forever part of everything, the central core of its existence and its guarantee of immortality. Wow.
Wow. That's big, isn't it? This one fact is sinlessness proclaimed to be forever part of everything.
Yes.
The central core of its existence and its guarantee of immortality. Wow. That's why forgiveness is the key to returning to our incorruptible innocence, the sinlessness that he speaks of here.
Yeah, that gap, if the whole gap stands for guilt, then its undoing is the felt state. I have the sister Nouk that's constantly reminding all of us about our invincibility and our incorruptible innocence. That is the cure-all. That is the healing and the correcting of that entire gap. Yep.
Yeah, but it's not personal, right?
No. How could
we used to think it was personal. I think when we begin, we think it's just, well, it's for me.
Yes.
But it's for the whole sonship.
Well, the whole sonship,
it's shared, it's not real.
That's right. That's right. Because we think of ourselves as a fragment of the whole, but we are the whole. So to leave a brother out is still leaving yourself out. Yeah.
Beautifully said. Thank you.
Thanks, sis. Okay, here we go. Paragraph 5. But let excuse me, but let today's idea find a place among your thoughts, and you have risen far above the world and all the worldly thoughts that hold it prisoner. And from this place of safety and escape, you will return and set it free. For he who can accept his true identity is truly saved, and his salvation is the gift he gives to everyone. In gratitude to him who pointed out the way to happiness that changed his whole perception of the world. So that's the awakening mind in one individuated expression that doesn't flee back into the arms of the Father, but stays on and shares it with every part of the sonship, with itself. It's the being the light of the world, being in the world but not of it, walking as Jesus did, being the living demonstration of God's will here, even in the stream of separation.
Yeah, but we can't do that until we also join Holy Spirit in intending to be free of the body as an identity as well.
Yes.
Because the body is the world is the body. Through the false identity, we use the world to serve the body identity. We cannot afford to believe that we have to undo the world or the attachment to the world without undoing our attachment to the body for what it can give to us that we believe God cannot.
So without the body, there is no world, right? I mean, you can't perceive anything. So the body and the world are one idea. It's all the symbol of separation. And yet the one son who's able to, not the one son, but the individuated aspect of the one son that has that revelation of, I am not this body, I am free, and allows itself, his or herself, to be moved by the divine mind, then it's not that we just, disappear. No. He's asking that we stay in the dream of separation and be used by Holy Spirit to be that communication device for the sleeping sonship.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And you can't
the body is entirely repurposed, divinely repurposed. That's it. And then we can let it go. Let the body go. And he says, lay it aside. So it doesn't cause, the body can't cause anything. It's neutral, just as everything in the world is neutral. So it doesn't cause our death.
No, because then the body's just that image. And I'm realizing that time and the body and the world are just different terms for the same thought of separation.
Exactly. Thank you. That's come to me too.
Yeah.
I realize it's
because you can't have a body without a sense of time where it seemed to arise, which we call a birth date, right? So time and the body, and you can't have the world unless you have the body to try and experience a world apart from God. So they're all interlaced, and it's all the same thought. Separation, which never happened.
Yeah. For me right now, my classroom really is learning minute to minute to withdraw my belief, my dependence on the body's 5 physical senses to tell me what reality is.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
It's everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, because we can't do both. We can't straddle both worlds. We can't trust the body's 5 senses. In other words, what it reports to us is reality, and yet still say and try to believe that we are spirit.
Right.
Because they're mutually exclusive. There's 2 different teachers that are attempting to show us what reality is through the body's five senses, it's always going to be the ego that is trying to use the body's five senses to report to us the separation has indeed occurred, and that we are guilty, we're sinful, guilty, and therefore we're deserving of punishment, and finally physical death.
So the five physical senses are constantly reporting what serves as a complete shield, a barrier, so that we cannot experience the kingdom of heaven, which is right here. And Jesus, I heard Jesus very clearly on this morning's walk about, what is understood as nothing must disappear. So that shield remains in force and effect while we still believe in it. And it's not until you're willing to ask and then understand the nothingness of what you're looking at. Sure, it seems very real through physical sense, but there's something there instead to see. And it's only until you understand that what you seem to be perceiving is not true, that's when it will disappear. So you can't have it disappear while you're still believing in part of it or fearing it, right? And again, this is another reason, and I'm not bashing, it's just this is so convoluted. This is why when we're still loving it or trying to be with it and not fear it, that's still on this side of things. It's still looking at this shield of darkness and trying to have a better relationship with it. And yet until you understand that it's nothing, you're always on the side of duality and asleep. So it's until we can look at something and go, that's not God's will, practice the forgiveness and ask with Holy Spirit to be shown what is there, then you understand the nothingness of something, even though physical sense says, hey, this is bad, or this is wrong, lack or disease, or whatever the problem is. When you can still look at it through your eyeballs, but then come to that recognition, it is nothing. And now I understand why it will cease from your experience.
Yeah, but this is a process, like I said before, it does take the illusion of time, because we're so terrified of God's love and our identity as a consequence, our true identity. So it does take time. It is a transfer of trust, because we took thousands, if not millions of years to teach ourselves separation.
Yeah.
So now we need to teach ourselves or undo that belief and remember the love we are, the Christ we are.
And I'm going to play the other side of this coin. I want you to stretch yourself. Yes, be gentle with yourself, but I want you to see if there's one area of your life where you're willing to just stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone. And the reason I'm saying this is because I really long for you to have the experience of the aha, when something that seems so physical and so real vanishes in an instant. And then you get the connection. My thoughts and this body are one. And all I did was change my thought and my body followed. I want you to have that experience of the ego saying, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, but you held to the truth despite what physical sense was showing you, and you received the miracle, the adjustment, the answer, right? Yeah, you'll know, but come and taste and see that the Lord is good. Okay.
Thank you, sis.
Yeah.
Thank you. We really do have to open our mind, stretch it, because this is the reversal of the reality of the ego's paradigm. There is no reality in the ego's paradigm.
It's all illusion. It's all illusion until we're willing to take this literally and usher in the real world and have these demonstrations. We'll always stay on this side of timidity. And I believe that it's time, it's now that the tipping point is. And so it is stepping out in faith, in trust that, Jesus is the author and this is the truth, and to stand on it. And don't expect your physical senses to agree. They're made not to agree. So they're just doing what they're supposed to do. But the truth is true. So take your step out past the comfort zone and stand there. You'll get a reward that'll change your whole foundation and your starting point from that point forward.
Absolutely. Thank you. Very powerful.
Thanks, sis. Yeah, encourage. Okay, here we go. One holy thought like this, I'm assuming, I am the Holy Son of God himself. Yes.
Right.
One holy thought like this, and you are free. You are the Holy Son of God himself. And with this holy thought, you learn as well that you have freed the world. You have no need to use it cruelly and then perceive this savage need in it. You set it free of your imprisonment. You will not see a devastating image of yourself walking the world in terror, with the world twisting in agony because your fears have laid the mark of death upon its heart. Be glad today how very easily is hell undone. You need but tell yourself, I am the Holy Son of God himself. I cannot suffer, cannot be in pain. I cannot lose, nor can I fail to do all that salvation asks. And in that thought is everything you look on wholly changed. A miracle. Yeah, go ahead.
So sis just stopping there, that's a big one, right? I am the Holy Son of God himself.
Yeah.
I cannot suffer, cannot be in pain. I cannot suffer loss, nor fail to do all that salvation asks. Okay, so, looking at that with eyes and heart wide open, mind wide open, it does demand that we give up the ego's central wish. And that wish, which is deeply unconscious until we've done our forgiveness work, is the wish to be unfairly treated. Because then it can project its own guilt outwards, thereby keeping it.
That's right.
Keeping the separation going. So it's a big one. Do we really want that? Do we want? I know I want to know I am the Holy Son of God himself.
Right.
And I am willing to give up everything, all of the ego's temptations, to know that, to remember that.
And also false humility has to completely go. It's in our humility that we accept the truth of this statement. Not that Coreen or Nouk is the Holy Son of God himself, but that what we thought we made as a replacement of our holy self never existed at all, and that the holy self is still the Holy Son of God, and that is our identity.
And that we share with everyone.
That's right.
Even historical figures that were diabolical perpetrators.
Yes. Every mythical me has always been illusory.
Thank you.
Okay. Somebody took exception to that, but they'll get over it.
Only the ego can be offended.
That's
the
right.
Holy self can never be offended.
That's right. A miracle has lighted up all dark and ancient caverns where the rites of death echoed since time began. For time, for time has lost its hold upon the world. There you go. Time, the body, the world. The Son of God has come in glory to redeem the lost, to save the helpless, and to give the world the gift of his forgiveness. Who could see the world as dark and sinful when God's Son has come again at last to set it free? You who perceive yourself as weak and frail, with futile hopes and devastated dreams, born but to die, to weep and suffer pain, hear this. All power is given unto you in earth and heaven. There is nothing that you cannot do. You play the game of death, of being helpless, pitifully tied to dissolution in a world which shows no mercy to you. Yet, when you accord it mercy, will its mercy shine on you.
Beautiful. That's the gift of forgiveness, right?
That's it.
And sis, if I could,
Yeah.
I really want to drive this one home, because the ego, unfortunately, is racked with false humility, as we know, and it refuses to allow the impact of this to be felt at our core, of course, because then the ego would disappear, and we would know we are the Son of God. So Jesus says in the paragraph you just read, all power is given unto you in earth and heaven. There is nothing you cannot do. And in that, he means that we share God's will, which means we share 100% of God's power. This is beyond a human capacity to even imagine. Don't even try, right? But it's a fact.
Yes.
And what we believe doesn't change that fact. We used God's power in order to try to attempt, which we did, to dream up a dream of a fake world, a fake universe, fake bodies, and fake time system, linear time, right? I mean, we used the power of God, against our memory of God. So we have free will to do these things. Yeah, it's all in innocence. Nobody is guilty because there is no sin. But Jesus, a damn long time of being in the the wash cycle or the recycle program. I'm done. I'm done. So to cap that off, I'd love to share a couple of quotes. I could have put 2 pages of quotes here, but I knew that you guys would fall off your chairs and go to sleep. So I've only got 2 short quotes here. And this is about the dominion we have here in the dream when we shift to vertical. In other words, when we shift our identity to the Holy Self. And these are from lesson 38. Maybe it'll make more sense now than it did when you originally listened or watched lesson 38 or read lesson 38. There is nothing my holiness cannot do because the power of God lies in it. Remember, our holiness is the incorruptible innocence that we were created in, that never changes, right, for eternity. So there's nothing my holiness cannot do because the power of God lies in it. Your holiness reverses all the laws of the world. It is beyond every restriction of time, space, distance, and limits of any kind. Your holiness is totally unlimited in its power because it establishes you as a son of God at one with the mind of his creator. Through your holiness, the power of God is made manifest. Through your holiness, the power of God is made available. And there is nothing the power of God cannot do through you. Your holiness then can, now this is literal, guys.
Mm.
There have been many teachers and students who've taken it as metaphor. It's literal. Your holiness then can remove all pain, including physical pain, can end all sorrow, and can solve all problems. It can do so in connection with yourself and with anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It is equal in its power to help anyone because it is equal in its power to save anyone. And this all comes from a book titled A Course in Miracles. That's what we're meant to be. That's what this is for. All right? Yes, eventually it is for us to go to the real world. I mean, not go to it, but to
stay,
embody the real world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then eventually to awaken from the dream of time and space altogether through the ascension.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, it is to become miracle workers. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Did you want to add to that, sis?
I'm reminded of the shield of fear diagram. And so what we are in truth is pure light, which is the presence and the mind and the power of God. And so anything that the ego tried to come up with and put in that shield of fear, any problem that we seem to have, when we are willing to bring those into contact with the light that we are, which requires accepting that we are that light, it burns off. It's like you trying to hold on to the darkness when you flip on the light switch. It's impossible. So there's no illusion that can stand in the presence of what we are when we have accepted that we are the light. I am the Holy Son of God. Right now, each one of us are the Holy Son of God. You are pure light. You are the power of God. You have complete knowledge. Can you feel the level of the efforting to have amnesia, to forget all of this? But should you actually surrender it and just allow truth to be true? Being a miracle worker doesn't mean efforting. Being a miracle worker means you've completely let go of all defenses so that what you are as love naturally fills in the calls for love that it encounters. That's what healing is. It's a revealing. It's letting the light reveal what's always there. And we do that naturally.
That's it. It, like you said before, flipping the light switch.
Yes.
Right? So if somebody's sick around us or is going through a hard time, we flip that light switch in ourselves.
That's it.
And because we have learned to accept that light, that we are the light of the world, that light is able to subsume the darkness. Whatever form the darkness takes, it's all illusion.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no hierarchy of illusions. There's no hierarchy of darkness.
No.
And therefore, there is no order of difficulty in miracles. When we flip that light switch,
everything goes.
No order of difficulty in miracles. The light heals the darkness.
And what we're being trained to do is that right now we're in the dark with our brothers and a brother calls for help. And so we turn to the truth and we turn the light switch on, right? But then when we're done, we turn the light switch off and we go back into story. And what we're being asked to do is walk in this world with that light switch on all the time, not turning it off and dimming it or shutting it off when you're with certain people. Right? Or depending on who you're with or what you're doing. It's, are you willing to stand in your true identity? It's not trying to become something that you're not. It's allowing what you are to be here now all the time with every brother, irregardless. Is it popular? No, it's not. Is it the most loving? Yes, it is.
For everyone.
For everyone. That's right. People say you're not being loving because you're not playing the game. Actually, I'm being the most loving because I'm the invitation for all of us to come back to our holy shared self. And that's ecstatic joy. So instead of just hits of it.
See, the thing is, we're taught through the ego to collude with other egos and then call
That's
that
right.
love, right?
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
ego stroking. I'll stroke your ego, you stroke mine, right?
That's right.
And then we call that love.
And don't you dare shine the light, because our whole agreement and our specialness is that we stand in the dark and we defend the dark. We defend bodies and stories, and that's why we're in love with each other. Yeah, don't rock the boat.
Don't rock the boat. Don't rock the ego's peace.
That's right.
Which is really separation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we could talk about that for another 12 months. Yeah.
Yes, we could. We could. All right.
Can I just share something?
Oh, you have another one. Yeah, please. Yeah. That was good.
Well, I just want to say this because I'm feeling, questions that maybe some of our family might have here. It's like, how in hell do you do this? Or in heaven do you do this, right? All powers given to me in earth and heaven, and there's nothing that I cannot do in God's name. How do I access that, right? Well, this, just a quick summary, is we have to first learn to deny the causeless. Causeless. And this quotes from chapter 14, section 3. God is the only cause, with uppercase C, and guilt is not of him. Teach no one he has hurt you. For if you do, you teach yourself that what is not of God has power over you. You know, the 5 physical senses? The causeless cannot be. Do not attest to it, and do not foster belief in it in any mind. Remember always that mind is one and cause is one. You will learn communication with this oneness only when you learn first to deny the causeless and accept the cause of God as yours, the only cause. The power that God has given to his Son is his. You know, we can't be miracle workers and truly awaken from the body and the world, the illusions of them, until we genuinely learn to deny all of these causeless things. We need to say, no, that the cause of this is in my mind.
Right.
Nothing outside of us has any power to harm us or to heal us.
Right.
We've spoken about this before. In the truest sense, it's only our belief in time that can harm us or, heal us in therapy or medication or supplements or whatever it might be. It's only our belief in these things that can seem to heal us, right?
It's trading one illusion for another.
Yeah.
It doesn't get to the real cause, which is the thought of separation. This is an image that's an extension of my thought that I'm separate. That's all it is. So let's heal the idea of separation. But so for those who think, how do I do this? All we do is undo what we thought we made. And then what is there will return to our awareness. So you're not responsible for making the truth true. We can't add to God. We can't inform the mind that created the universe and everything that is. We just need to get out of the way, which is the whole idea or the means of forgiveness, right? And Nouk has a beautiful, the 7 steps of 7 essential principles of quantum forgiveness. Take whatever seems to be, nipping at the heels and take it through there, because it goes right through that positive denial. This isn't from God. It's not there. It's in my mind. I made a wrong choice. I want my mind healed. I don't want the problem corrected. I want my perception healed. and you hand it over to Holy Spirit. There's more to it, but
Yeah.
just come back to that place of peace and let your right mind inform you of what's going on in
Thank
truth.
you, Sis, for that. It's a great tool. And
Yep.
if you want to find that, it's in the list of resources. Thank you. In the description box. Show more. Whatever. They probably, in 100 years' time, when people are watching this, they'll probably have a different word for it, right?
We're all going to be awakened within 100 years, sis.
Yeah, we'll all be awakened. Wouldn't
That's
that
it.
be miraculous? Are you reading the next two paragraphs?
Where am I? Okay.
Paragraph
Okay, thank you. Okay, last sentence of 9. Yet when you accord it mercy, will its mercy shine on you? Then let the Son of God, I'm sorry?
Is that the world and the body, right? Others, the world and the body?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then let the Son of God awaken from his sleep and opening his holy eyes, return again to bless the world he made. In error it began, but it will end in the reflection of his holiness, and we will sleep no more and dream of death. Then join with me today. Your glory is the light which saves the world. Do not withhold salvation longer. Look about the world and see the suffering there. Is not your heart willing to bring your weary brothers rest? That's what he's saying. Let's stop dimming our light. Let's stop turning the light switch off. Let's stop pretending, people pleasing, special relating, special relationships. It's to be, just come back to what we are and let that truth stand right in the midst of the dream, where our brothers don't even know that they have an option. They still think the world's happening to them. Here they go. This is really moving. He's talking about your brothers who don't know about the Course, who have not been taught these teachings by Jesus. They must await your own release. They stay in chains till you are free. They cannot see the mercy of the world until you find it for yourself. They suffer pain until you have denied its hold on you. They die till you accept your own eternal life. You are the Holy Son of God himself. Remember this, and all the world is free. Remember this, and earth and heaven are one.
Wow. So, so powerful.
Yeah.
When we accept the atonement, the world is healed.
Thanks, sis.
Thank you.
I want to just join with all of you for a good long 10 seconds. Let's just join in accepting deeply. We're accepting the truth. I am the Holy Son of God himself. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, that was beautiful. I felt that.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank you, sis.
Yeah, that was lovely. I enjoyed that very much. All right, you guys. We'll see you next time.
Emily.
Yeah, thank you.